unopposed, one of the very few.
Yeah, yes, I think.
So there was no fighting, nothing in your area?
No, it was very good.
It was very
one
good.
Of the peaceful places.
One of the peaceful places. Emmanuel Dombo is pleased. I can see he has a smile on his face. At least you haven't put anything in tribunals or anything like that.
No.
We need to find out if nobody's petition, because
even being unopposed could be an issue.
Somebody may want to find out
how it happened. So, and then you're still campaigning because you want to be NRM National Vice Chairman, Eastern Region.
Yes.
Pardon?
National Vice Chairman.
National Vice Chairman. And on that one, you're not unopposed. You have opposition.
I have opponents, yes. I think we're about 7.
About 7 for that one place. And in your opinion, what are your chances?
My chances are very good.
Yeah.
I think my chances are very good because my incumbent, my opponent slept on the job. So they say that
I think there is a job.
There is a job.
It is a job to serve for the country.
It's a job to serve the country. They say that sometimes the best way a dog can start to get the demands by losing the smell.
Right.
So when a dog loses smell, then it loses the ability.
For you are that one dog that still has a smell.
Has a smell to know where the delegates and the voters are go for them.
So you're most welcome for the first time, David Calvin Echodu. I beg your pardon.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Ssemweya Nduhura, Sam Jeremiah is always ready for the Captal Gang. He says on the Captal Gang o'clock today we have a bevy of topics. And at Ssemweya Musoke, as you talk about bad roads in the opening remarks, on top of Old Kira Road, Mitiana Fort Portal Road, add-on Amber Road in Soroti City. That's going to be your business, soon to be Honorable Echodu. Pamba Road. You know about that one?
Yes, sir. I know about Pamba Road.
Well, Jeremiah, you've heard. Flag bearer knows about Pamba Road. Honorable Ssemweya, most welcome to Gang.
Thank you, Oscar.
Okay.
I am eating, so you don't introduce people when they are eating.
Then you just stop at thank you and keep quiet.
No, I must complain. See, Sereke Dombo has not eaten in a full year.
David Calvin Echodu, I'd like to tell you we are powered by Star Cafe. You can eat as much as you like. On the Captal Gang, you don't have to carry a chapati in your pocket. As we have famously heard. Agatha Atuhaire is on Gang. You're most welcome back, Agatha.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yes, at the end of the show.
Glad to be back.
Yes, at the end of the show, I want to ask you what you want to say about your ordeal in East Africa. So I'm giving you good notice. The final 3 minutes at the end of the show will be Agatha Atuhaire.
Okay, no worries at all.
And then the big man is in the studio, big man of football. You're most welcome, Moses Hashim Magogo, to the Captal Gang.
Thank you, Oscar. I don't have the best of my voice today, but I'm happy to be here.
It shall work. If you have tickets, Patricia Osman, my producer, sent me a message, came a little bit late. She said, tell him to bring Monday tickets. So the voice is not so required as long as you give out some tickets. You just need to say, Patricia Dan. I'll speak for him. Patricia Dan. So, most welcome to Gang. The other question people have asked me, ask him, how come we don't have the opening match and we don't have the closing match? We're not that powerful.
Thank you, Oscar. Good morning to everyone in the studio and the listeners. Yeah, we are 3 countries and there are 2 events. Definitely somebody was going to miss out. The good news is that what we went for was the Africa Cup of Nations. Actually, CHAN is just a precursor to the Africa Cup of Nations. So if we are to miss out on the 2, I'm very certain that we shall not miss out on the other bigger 2.
Yes.
So it might sound like we missed out, but might be a big opportunity that we shall have one of the two for the bigger occasion.
Still on the complaints forum. Then you make us start with Algeria. Hey!
Well, these are maybe the disclaimer I have to put is that Uganda and the Federation, we are only presenting a team in this competition. We don't organize it.
Oh.
Unlike the previous matches we have here where we are the organizers, actually now we are more participants than organizers. So
we have just offered a venue and a team.
Whoever has been asking about the tickets, FUFA does not have them, CAF has them. So we are just participants, and if we want anything to do with the tickets, who is playing who, it is not in our control because we are just a competitor like all others.
Okay. So now, by the way, should I congratulate you? Are you also flag bearer of Butende? Biende?
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Were you unopposed or you did some flexing of muscle?
No, it was an election.
It was an In the second half of the show, we shall go to NRM. So, on to the football. Honorable Magugo, what's happening starting today till sometime in July?
For me, it is a dream come true, something we dreamt about. And it sounded too big then. But like these days, they say, Biadala, it is now happening. Because it is not easy to host these competitions. When we decided to say we bid, of course the objective was to push the hand of government into investing in infrastructure. We had everything it needed to host these competitions other than the sporting infrastructure. But by bidding to host, it was one of our own tactics, I must confess, to push the hand of government into investing into sports infrastructure. And we are happy that where we are, there's been a lot that has been done. There's a lot that is going to be done. Most importantly for us is that there's going to be a very big rub-off. When such a competition happens, the game of football in this country will never be the same again. There's a lot of change in mindset. There are so many opportunities that are rising. I'm sure there are many businessmen that are waking up to the opportunities that probably they wouldn't have invested in. Like we look at September 11th, like we look at COVID, this huge milestone is going to change the way everybody looks at the game, including government, including us who are running it. There's a lot of learning, there are a lot of mistakes that we have committed in the process. But it's a learning process. I'm sure Chan has prepared us so that by the time we do AFCON, definitely we shall be more organized and even much better.
Yeah.
So starting today, there will be the opening ceremony in Tanzania. Then they will move to Kenya on day 2, and then day 3, which is Monday, we'll be in Nambole with 2 matches, Niger and Guinea, and then Uganda taking on Algeria. This competition is basically a competition of players who are based home. Every country has a league or has competitions of clubs that are home-based. So CAF came out with this because normally for the Africa Cup of Nations, there are players who are coming from Europe and everywhere. So you find that home-based players do not get the cameras and the attention. You find that we get more scouts accredited for this competition than the Africa Cup of Nations, because the Africa Cup of Nations, you find players who are settled in their clubs. Very difficult to make any moves. So I think that we are making the 7th appearance out of 8 editions. We are one of the teams we are one of the 2 teams that have qualified most for this competition. We have always been there. The challenge is that we have always not gotten beyond the group stages. So our challenge is that we want to take advantage of home, because in football it's proven that when you have the same Jews shouting in the stands, it becomes a 12th player. So you play 12 against 11. And it is always very difficult to beat the Uganda Cranes in Nambo. It's one of the rarest things to happen.
Yeah.
In my lifetime, I've only seen it 5 times, and I'm talking about Nambole, which was opened in 1997. So out of that, we believe that we have the home advantage, we have the 12th player, the team has been prepared, so we are good to go.
And this is a good time for sports in Uganda. We've had recently rugby, and then only a couple of weeks ago we had cricket as well, and Uganda won the cricket, and now the football. So we are in the news worldwide.
Yeah, it is. And the world's cameras are on us, so we need to exhibit ourselves in the best way in the world. We need to make East Africa or Uganda the best destination. These are the advantages that you get from hosting such competitions.
Yeah.
And there are things that have come to Uganda for the first time. We will be having a 24 camera production. In Nambole, it has never happened. VAR in Nambole, it has never happened. The electronic boards for the advertising, these are new things we've been not working with. The teams in our group include Algeria, whom we start with. Then there will also be Niger, Guinea, and South Africa. So today the first game will be Guinea and Niger at 5. I mean on Monday it will be Guinea and Niger at 5. And then Uganda, Algeria coming at 8 o'clock.
You know, you said we have never gotten out of the group stage, and now you've read the other teams.
No, but this is the Africa, it's an African level.
Yeah.
If you're going to do anything, you have to fight with the big boys.
You have to fight to play with the big boys. And television, all this, the football will be televised?
Yes. FUFA TV is the accredited home broadcaster. We'll bring all the games live, including those that are played in Kenya and Tanzania. But I know that UBC will also be showing the same game, so we have the opportunity to watch all these games in the 3 countries.
Okay. Emmanuel Dongo, government spokesman, say good things about the football.
No, this is the NRM spokesperson, not government.
He is now government spokesman.
No.
Oscar, I want to congratulate Engineer Magogo
He's a partisan
and the
spokesperson.
Federation for how far they have brought us. You know, when we last existed from the African Championships at that level,
Under Idi Amin, we played in the final.
Under Idi Amin,
We played in the finals.
that is exactly what I'm saying.
Would you let me switch off your microphone?
No, I'm giving him information that under Idi Amin, Uganda played in the
He
final
has
against
received it.
Ghana.
We
Well,
exited
continue,
at the
Adam.
final, and right now there are prospects that we could end up even taking the trophy one of these days. Investing, yesterday we had the caucus meeting with the president, and he told the members of parliament, he said if you have limited resources, when they were in the bush and the little food, they had little food, he said you must give the food to the one who is keeping the sentry, the guard, so that when the enemy comes, they don't overrun him and kill all of you, because food is limited. So my brother Magogo has talked about investment in the facilities. It has been progressive. The same thing happened during Chogam. Hotels went up. Now it is coming on the sports. The sports facilities are going up. So this is securing the future of the people of Uganda, and the game is equally being secured. I want to congratulate the chairman of Honorable Magogo himself and his team. And for us, we look forward to being in the stands cheering. And it would be very unfair if we lost at home. But if we could win, and this becomes the basis for us when the Rio CAF comes, this would be a very good thing for us.
I have to tell you, I watched some matches a little while ago, and there's a very heartwarming match in which we beat Nigeria. So he's right when he says we are not very beatable at Nambole. Ssemweya, you seemed worried when Honorable Magogo read out our opponents in the first group.
First of all, it is possible to be beaten at home. I think Ivory Coast beat Algeria. I was in Algeria, I watched that game. They were crying because they were beaten by Ivory Coast.
In the women's team, women's tournament, Nigeria beat Morocco
at home.
After going 2-0 down.
So I hope, and I want to take his word, that the preparations have been very good. You see, Amin liked sports. He was himself a boxer. He would participate in rallies, driving. It's not surprising that at that time Uganda played in the finals against Ghana under Amin. Mr. Museveni, because of his background, he thinks sports is yakuzanya. I remember the first time we interviewed him, I was at Monda. When we asked him, why are you not investing in sports? He said, I want to play myself. So he has been too leisurely about sports. Yet this is a very, very big industry, bigger than many industries. I mean, look at the footballers in Nigeria, most of the West African countries, the amount of money they have brought home, but also the amount of visibility they have given to their countries. So I agree with the FIFA president. This industry will market the country sometimes more than other industries if really we focused on it. The trouble with Uganda is that we are excitable, the leadership are excitable. They don't do things because they believe in them. Look at the flowers planted during the previous events, Chogam and so on and so forth, the most recent one, Nam and so on. They all have dried because they do not believe in these flowers when they're planting them. You go to Rwanda, they water them every day. They will even tell you if you walk. The first time I stepped in Chigai, they told me if you walk on the grass, Kagame's grass, you're going to be arrested. So the promotion is at the highest level. But Museveni behaves like a typical village man. You only sweep your compound when you have visitors. When they go, it goes back, it becomes dirty. So now we have Chan. I think now they are going, I don't know if they are planting some flowers. I have had a conversation with
by the way, you should. I don't know. The trouble is you bring in the name Museveni all the time. I even fear to give you information. But on Entebbe Road,
I am not the one bringing in Museveni. When he was launching, didn't he take Museveni to Kololo to launch? Was it Vesigi? So Museveni brings himself in the conversation. Don't launch.
But on Entebbe Road,
Yes.
they had all these flower pots on the high roads going into Entebbe. It will look so nice as you enter Entebbe, and they were taken down.
Yeah, so that's the point I make, Oscar, that you see, the moment you do these things because you have visitors, you ask your children to bathe, to dress properly.
Which is also good.
Yeah, but do it because you believe that it must happen every day, not because you have guests. But the investment, a bit now, maybe partly because of Magogo is in Parliament where decisions are taken, so he has also brought some visibility of sports in Parliament. I hope it is deliberate, because the trouble with Ugandan, I was in South Africa when South Africa was going to host the World Cup, and the conversation was, how will we keep these facilities after the World Cup? Said we invested a lot of money. In Uganda, whether it is roads, whether it is what, I fear that these facilities that we are developing after China and the Nations Cup, the good thing the Domos will have gone. Maybe we'll have people who are not old in thinking. So we welcome this competition. Not much publicity. Of course, now there is a bit of it has been done about it. I hope we will continue, and then you will have people, because Nambole is in my constituency, so I want to see the constituency go to Nambole to cheer the team. But I haven't seen promotions in my constituency. I hope the FIFA president who says this is CAF, so he can speak to CAF. I can help. So if you want my help in the area, we can go and promote. So at least Monday, we should be able to fill Nambole to support the team. What the other countries do, Dombo, this is not for Magogo. It is for you. What other countries do? In fact, sometimes they buy tickets. Yeah. Like the opening match for Uganda, even around the ceremonies. The opening match of Uganda, this Museveni who is giving money in Kasokoso, even to an existing group, it is an opportunity for him to come and offer tickets to the whole of Chira, and then you fill the stadium, and the country doesn't look like a Mulekwa. But Dombo,
I think they've done it before. Uganda has done it before.
But this particular match, I have not seen them.
Not for this one, but we've done it before.
But we need to do it. Yeah, so that you don't host a match as big as this one, and the cameras are focusing on empty seats.
Yeah. Agatha, are you into football?
Not so much. I know about football as far as accountability, which I focus on is concerned. Yeah. And many of the things, as Honorable Ssemweya says, the fact that we have neglected sports in this country. And so when you look at the issue of publicity, Chan is not so much talked about like it should. I don't know if it's the same in other countries that are hosting it. But also for a country that is, I've seen the excitement in other countries when they're going to host big tournaments. That's when most Ugandans get jobs in Qatar because Qatar is going to host the World Cup. That's when there's a lot of infrastructure. So I
actually saw many Ugandans working, helping out on the stadiums and so
in
on.
Qatar.
In Qatar.
Yes, because it's huge. Because
Even in Hoima, there are many Ugandans working on the stadium.
Yeah, but what we are saying,
be the one working there.
What we are saying, Honorable Dombo, is that it doesn't have as much, And I know for a fact that they started calling journalists and influencers about 2 days ago to push it, to tell people about it. This is a tournament you knew you were going to have. How many years does it take? How much notice do they give, Honorable Mabugo?
Well, we learned of, excuse me, we got the rights to host AFCON much earlier than CHAN. It was in the wisdom of CAF later to say, but I think you guys need something to try and test yourselves.
Remember, CHAN was
so we were given the rights in September of 2024, and the event was supposed to be in February 2025.
So it is extended by 6 months, but still there's nothing much done to prepare people. Not only
I think
not only to know and feel the stadium, like Honorable Ssemweya is saying, but also tap into it. Business people tap into it. How do we position ourselves? How do people like that? And that comes with publicity, with something being hyped as much as it should be, because from as Honorable Magogo is saying, it's the first time that Uganda is hosting a big tournament. It should be a big deal, but also infrastructure-wise. So I have seen the CDF talk about and the Minister for Youth and Children now. It has become a song of we will do sports, we will have an arena like Kigali here, we will have, just recently there were issues of basketball players being stuck. So like just that you do not take something as seriously as you should, which should we have our youth paying 80% of their attention to Premier League and other football. So that means they love sports. If we had a country that cares a lot about that, I think that would be a good thing. But I think mainly for me, my question to Honorable Magogo would be around publicity that I know that 1 billion shillings has been given to that. I am still asking, why did it take so long for, be falling over yourselves 2 days later for an influencer to write about it, for a journalist to write about it? Why didn't these things happen early? Why didn't we get to know how much preparation is taking place? And there's been also...
Agatha, it's interesting. When an event is going to happen, the police already has written and said this is the road that will be used and whatever. The only good thing is they put in from midday, and it should be okay after that. But some of these things, some of the notices can be a downer.
Really? The notices can...
Of like police notices of roads they are going to close and so on and so forth.
I thought we like notices. If
do, actually.
If President Museveni's convoy gave notices to people, you wouldn't have people... in ambulances
like
being stuck in whatever. But so the other thing is really for him to tell us about preparedness, because one of the reasons for the extension from Feb was infrastructure. Okay. Preparedness for CHAN, but also preparedness for
hold on, 1 minute before David Calvin comes in.
The trouble in other countries, I was in South Africa, I said, when they're hosting World Cup before. On arrival at the airport, they made sure everybody entering South Africa months before the tournament, they throw the World Cup into your face by giving you a jersey of Vuvuzela what. So I had gone there for a journalism conference, but I was welcomed by the World Cup almost a year before. Qatar looked at hosting the World Cup as a project to market and sell their country. In Uganda, I think the mentality of our leaders is to look at this as a Magogo event. Because we should even be having here the ministers. They should be the one. The opportunity is not to Magogo and Fufa. The opportunity is to Uganda. They should be the one preparing the country. And it doesn't matter where you... Because the moment you figure out the benefit to the country, you leave Magogo to organize the football, the club, and which player is fit, and you concentrate. But Dombo here doesn't even have a crew.
I hope you'll have a press conference early Monday morning, Honorable Dombo, outlining the football and what we should look forward to and so on. David Calvin Echodo, do you follow the football?
Not very much.
That is not a very good thing if you are looking for votes in Soroti West.
But
the voters are Moses Sade.
You had to throw that one in.
Yeah, so
but I definitely am surrounded people who love football, soccer. Congratulations to Honorable Magogo. I think that they are doing a great job, and I just came back from northern Uganda, Karamoja, and I was surprised people are excited about the games. Definitely, there should be much that could be done in publicity, but the country is excited, the young people are excited, so I think giving credit to when it's due, I think they have tried. Uganda definitely is not a Qatar, is not a South Africa. This also, you could understand that the challenges of economic challenges the country is getting. But they could have bigger problems, but at least in terms of infrastructure, they have tried to get ready. I didn't expect them to be like a Qatar or South Africa, given our economic situation, but given the situation, given the circumstances, I think they've tried, and congratulations, Honorable.
Yeah.
And I think the country is excited, and let's mobilize people to go and watch the game and see it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honorable Magogo, to your credit, when I invited you, you were about to head to Tanzania for the opening ceremony, and I did not need a lot of coercion to get you to come here to talk about Chan. So that answers a bit of what the guy is querying. But the two questions on the table, there's the publicity issue and the preparedness. How do you respond to that?
First and foremost, let's put the facts on table. We were given to host this competition in September 2024, when it's supposed to be in February 2025. Now, that is a very big ask. But we wanted the opportunity because we are looking at the bigger event of AFCON. And remember, at that time, even the financial year for Uganda had already started. So, to go through all the bureaucracies of getting the resources for us to be able to fund these activities with the bureaucracies of government, it took a bit of time. But I want to give credit where it is due, that from the time when you approached President Museveni, because this thing you cannot organize it without authorization to that level. So how was the idea birthed? We convinced our friends in football in Tanzania that we need to go to our governments, because for you to host a competition of this level, you need government guarantees. There are 7 guarantees that government must sign. Things to do with the taxes, security, and all these. But when we approached the president, from the first we said, this is an opportunity for us, we need to go for it. And if you have seen communications around government in terms of the spending of this particular financial year, the 5 priorities include the Africa Cup of Nations hosting. So in terms of intention, I want us to give credit where it's due, that there's been, and even to get the hosting rights, it needed the president to call the presidents of the other sister countries, and at some point also to have President Musoke himself of CAF. It wasn't really easy because there were so many countries competing to get this. The truth about advertising is that it's only on Tuesday of this week that eventually a decision was done by the local organizing committee that let advertising start. But advertising is done in levels. There's advertising at the level of CAF, the one where they put the billboards and there are layers. Now the one which falls to the LOC is the one we are talking about, where we go to the radios, downtown, and use all kinds of gymnastics. So it was on Tuesday when the decision was done, not when the money was given. Up to now the money has not yet been given, but FIFA is using its credit supply and, to be able to do the job. But I don't want people to get worried. We will fill the stadium. We can fill it. We have seen the sales of the tickets behind the scene. We will fill the stadium because we are looking about 40,000 people only getting into that stadium. We'll get there. But you don't benefit as a country, that's the truth, if the excitement is not there. Because the bigger good is how everybody in the country benefits, economically, socially, and how the country basically is looked at from the outside. So I believe that, like I said, the few mistakes that have been done, we are learning, teaching people in government who have not been very close to football of how football things work. For me, I think we have done a good job where we are, because we started from, if one of some of you can tell you, in 2016, the president of this country did not even know, he confessed at a rally, that there was a national team called the Uganda Cranes. Today, he calls players by names. So I think we have done proper advocacy as a people in football because it was our duty. And right now, we get every attention that we want. And there's been progress. We started from about 400 million Uganda shillings as a sports budget for the whole year in 2016. Right now, it is about 36 billion that is going to federations, all of them. So, and results are starting to show even on the pitch. Between 1978 and 2012, Uganda qualified for continental competitions 5 times. But since that time to today, which is just 12 years, we have qualified 20 times. So it shows that there is an impact that government in funding these particular activities has brought. But there's also been the law. When some of you remember in the House, we were able to pass the National Sports Act, which allows private investment, because government comes for the national team, but these players come from somewhere. They go through clubs, there's a whole process, and this law is now in place. Then now we are dealing with infrastructure. So for me, I think there's a brick on top of the other. At the end of the day, we will definitely have an environment that allows this particular activity to move from Ebyemizanyo, like we are saying, into an economic activity employing Ugandans. So indeed it's true we have started a day to advertise, but I believe that we will do a good job. We will fill the stadium, and by the time probably we get into the next games, we will be flowing. We would have wanted to do it better, but there's so many limiting factors that we cannot ignore.
And on the preparedness, if we beat Algeria on day one, the stadium will be overfilled.
Yes, I think we have
without those players who play abroad, the local players.
Of course, Algeria is a better standing country in football. They have a league which is stronger than ours. Their clubs play in the finals of the Africa Club Championships. So you have to give them the respect. They are the most ranked team, the highest ranked team in our group. But on many occasions, Uganda has beaten Algeria. It has happened. I've seen it myself. There's a time when Asani Mubiru, on his debut in Nachivubu, had to hit them twice. There's a time even much earlier when they were coming from the World Cup and Uganda beat them. You know, at this level, what separates these teams are very small, tiny things. It's no longer the same like in the past. That the teams that are big, even us, when we are playing with the teams that are seemingly smaller than us, what separates us? Football has squeezed itself in a smaller band. So it is only the small things, the experience they have. But in terms of preparations, I think we have given the team the best preparations. They have been in for a month. We believe that has been a good time.
Yeah.
And in the past, our challenge has always been that players who qualify the team into the competition, there's a transfer window. Eventually they transfer and they don't become eligible. We've lost 3 players in that process, but I believe that the ones we have will still do the job. When you look at it, we did the 3-nation tournament in Tanzania, and we lost to Tanzania. And these games, they are trials. So teams are trying themselves. But in the last CHAN, which was played in Algeria, we beat Senegal in the group stages, and Senegal ended up being the finalists.
Yeah.
This time in our trial games, again, we beat Senegal in Tanzania 2-1. So we believe we have given the boys the trial matches. They are properly motivated. They are properly paid, I must say that. There are very huge bonuses for them if they win. So for me, I think all we need is the 12th player. People need to go and buy their tickets. They are running out.
The support. A cheeky question. Sometimes these football clubs, we've seen it in tournaments. So this Algeria, are you sleeping them in Luweero or Kapchorwa? So?
No, it is CAF. Remember, at this level, it is CAF.
object.
They will object.
We have had Egypt here before. They are booked in a hotel. They go to Sheraton by themselves. They are not in Uganda.
They went to Sheraton.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But these days it's different.
Yeah.
When a team comes to play against us, it does its own bookings, unlike in the past, because of that experience.
Okay.
But at this level, it is CAF which is hosting us. So teams are in very,
The
very
hands
good
of
position.
CAF. Do we also have the opportunity, like when you send our players, instead of getting them to sleep in a far-off hotel, no sleep, and do you like book them into a Sheraton?
Yeah, we have the opportunity, but our experience has shown that sometimes that's not the best thing. There's a time we were supposed to play against Kenya, I'll say this here, and we were sharing a hotel with other people. And there was apparently somebody from Angola who was a resident in that hotel. And that destabilizes the team, because at that time we were playing Kenya, but the competition was between Uganda and Angola for the qualification. So we have learned from those experiences and said we want an exclusive place. So our team, FUFA has a hotel we run, and the team stays there. They are comfortable there. We do our own food. It's exclusive to the team. And for us, that's the best environment. The players want it. They are able to concentrate. So when we were supposed to do these games, CAF asks us, you are home. Choose where you want to stay. And we chose to stay there. And we believe that that's the best environment to prepare the players.
Yeah. Emmanuel Dombo, you by your own confession, you told me you last played football in primary school. But
in primary, he didn't play.
no, he told me
He was a
played.
goalkeeper.
You see,
You're not my age, man. Let the my age speak, because they know me better.
so you need to give these things attention. There used to be school competitions. For us as a private school, we organize a tournament, an independence tournament. But there used to be powerful government schools tournaments. You'd say Masaka is hosting, Bara is hosting. These are some of the things that can make Magogo's work easier.
I don't know whether football in schools also is FUFA has got a link.
We inform them, but that's as much as they
when
can
we were
do. We
still
inform
young
them.
and in school, first of all, we went to school at an older age. We were bigger boys in primary schools. Some of the people even had wives. So for a tournament,
In primary school?
yes, for a tournament in primary school in 1970s, 1980s, early 80s, you had very big boys playing. Other people would run away from paying tax, graduated tax. When they're after them, then they run back to school. That's why they would cushion themselves. At that time, the tournaments were very heavier and would last long. Now, when you have a primary competition and you go and watch, they are basically children playing, and they can have a tournament where they play about 5 games in a day. And I'm trying to understand how that works, but also many schools don't have the facilities that we used to enjoy.
That's a bigger problem.
During our time.
The NRM has sold all of them.
They don't have those facilities. But most importantly here, one thank Honorable Ssemweya and the Engineer Magogo, because they are both members of Parliament. I believe that in Parliament, once there is a goodwill, you can make certain things move. Because you meet the Minister of Sports, you live with him or her.
We don't meet the Minister of Sports. She never comes to Parliament.
Once you have Peter Ogwang, Honorable Peter Ogwang, he will be in position to discuss the things that we need to do, ask the hard questions, and summon the ministers. But so far, me, I'm very happy that when you look at the report that has been given by Honorable Magogo, how many tournaments were winning previously or participation. Right now, we have over 20 teams participating. When you look at sports, I mean the athletics, and you look at the gold medals that we are now winning, when you look at the goodwill that Uganda can now host, and they believe in us, and all the things that are being done, to me, I believe that the NRM government is progressively delivering Uganda where it should be. Some people don't want to hear this because they know.
By your standards.
Because they know that this is going to enhance our marketability when you got the population come 2026 when we go for the elections. But who would want to take advantage of incumbency and doing a good job for you to market yourself for the next course of action. So I want to tell my brother Ssemweya, when you go to Kira, tell the people what Uganda has achieved, how far we have gone. You have heard from Mr. Magogo, Engineer Magogo, what we have achieved. Go and tell people the things, even when.
From being finally.
Ssemweya say, despite this, we have achievement despite your efforts. But Agatha, on tomorrow for my usual Sunday walk, I'm going to wear my Uganda shirt, and then I may have to wash it out and wear it on Monday as well, a T-shirt. But I'll be okay wearing a T-shirt on Monday. That will be my contribution.
You will help Engineer Magogo, who has not yet received money for publicity, and do it for free for your country. And that's
we invited him here, and that was the idea. Do you have a Uganda shirt to wear?
No, I do not. Now that I know about Chan, because I wasn't advertised to previously, I will get it and wear. I think the other thing that I needed to point out earlier is that I don't know what people like Honorable Magogo tell the government when you are talking to them to lobby for hosting these tournaments.
Here we have just told Dombo to have a press conference on Monday. Let's look out and see if he has it.
Tell them about things that would affect these types of activities that are very important. The violence that we see, the people that see this violence from elections, from really the repression, what do they think? How does it affect the numbers we'll get here? We have 2026 general elections just a year before CAF. Are you guys talking about issues like that? Or is it, politics, and you say that's politics and we leave it at that, yet it plays a very big role in how many people will not feel disincentivized to come for these games. So security and violence are key things to look at. Yep.
And for you, David Calvin Echodo, you really have to raise your voice and shout out for Uganda in the constituency. I'm going to buy Agatha a shirt if we qualify to the next level. I'll buy one because as you've had Honorable Magogo say, yes, after the 4, is it 4 matches, 3 matches? The group stages. If we get out of them, I'll get it. I'll personalize it to you. The
Please write for me now so that I start helping with advertising as well.
I can, but you have to order it because I want to put. What should I put? AA on it at the back.
Yeah. Yes, okay. AA. Don't add the third A. AA is enough. Yes, thank
you. David Calvin Echodo.
I have a shirt. I have a nice green shirt.
You see,
yellow is a national flag. I mean, a national color. So,
white, red.
For me, I have one that is white and another one that is red. Though I keep telling my students not to wear red on the streets.
Yeah, you see, the thing
can
that's
be a difficulty. It can be a difficulty.
The thing that Honorable Magogo is not considering in his bid to bring these big tournaments to us. Yeah.
I have a nice crane shirt. I think Honorable Ssemweya would approve. I'm very excited about the opportunity, despite the challenges. I think like Honorable Magogo said, it won't be the same once this event is successfully held. I think the inspiration to the young people in the country to see the top teams in Africa playing, and it will inspire them to, not only the young people, but our country to be able to get excited about soccer, about football. So that's an important element, and I'm impressed on what they're doing, and I hope there will be more publicity. The infrastructure is also, I think, is a good progress. It will stay with the country. We hope to continue utilizing it. I hope we can be able to maintain them, not let them fall down. But I think with the budgets Honorable Magogo is talking about, I think we shall be able to maintain them. The excitement also is the part-time jobs that Honorable Dombo was talking about in these stadiums. That's a good thing for people to know that it has an economic impact and spin-off, which I hope some will continue, and even those short-term jobs benefit the young people. So overall, I think there's a positive impact in the country, especially on young people, on the economic angle. It's something that we celebrate as a country.
Yeah.
And we applaud Honorable Magoga and the team and the government for what they are doing to make sure that this has come to this stage. Otherwise, we would have had the problems of the stadium not being completed. But despite the challenges, I think they are ready to play. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Ssemweya, before we get Honorable Magogo to close out, final comment?
Tanzania, incidentally, I don't know how they did it. They love their local league more than the Europeans. If you are there and the two top clubs, is it Simba and they are playing, they will switch off the Premier League and then watch Simba play. Magufuli used to be a member of one of those clubs, so they will feel the stadium when they are playing, when the local teams are playing. Their league, I don't know whether in terms of organization it's better than ours, but the popularity in the country is higher than.
But usually there's something here.
No. I should tell you, Agatha and Ssemweya, I should tell you, I don't know about outside Kampala, but in Kampala we fill up these stadiums. For us, we walk from Bwebaja. We no longer use a car because it's pointless. We walk to Chitende, where the stadium is, when there's a local match. I've seen one Kurukuku, same, it fills up, and then Nambole. So it is happening in Kampala. I don't know about outside Kampala.
Maybe Chitende. You know, I used to be
and
very active. I used to be very active in Express. But the last time I watched a game, they can't even raise money to pay players.
When was that?
Oscar, you need to go there. Maybe you go only to Chitende. Maybe sometimes
to attend, I attend Chitende. But
yeah, so you
one Kuruku, I pass one Kuruku when there are matches. It's a nightmare.
It is not. It's no longer. You see, there was when I was in Masaka Secondary, Villa was using Masaka Recreation as their home ground. But the match day was like a holiday in town.
Yeah.
We would run from school. We are being chased by teachers, but so the whole town, because Villa was coming. So that is gone away a bit. I don't know what we will do to return the enthusiasm in local football. Because it feeds into these clubs that are going to...
Let me get Honorable Magogo to respond to that. In addition, we have a question on X that will these VAR and all those cameras, will they stay after Chan and AFCON have ended? And then your perennial question, I see that you're always responding to it, so I have to ask it as well. When your program is to Gende Kumpira, your TV program, the name will come back, but your TV program in Uganda, and they're always saying, why are you changing rules to stay in power?
Okay, let me start with the issue.
Staying in power.
Well, the issue of security that was raised. One of the 7 guarantees for you to be able to host these competitions is government to guarantee that there will be proper security for the persons and the funds. And I've been at the Africa Cup of Nations in many countries. There are not so many countries in Africa that you say you have 100%. I think Uganda is much better than some of the countries that have hosted. So I believe that the experts have assessed this at CAF. They have been here several times. I don't think we shall have a problem in that area. Then when you talk about areas that are enthusiastic about football, West Nile is one of them, extremely enthusiastic. Northern Uganda is, and we have played a tournament called the FIFA Drum, which actually tests the love for football by the fans. CAF ranks Uganda among the top 3 countries that fans follow their national team, apparently. So the enthusiasm is there. But it's also true that football is played at national level and at club level. There's been a challenge with club football in the country. And it's one of the objectives, one of the areas we want to address. But you could not address it before you address the top. We are coming from the top going downwards. But now that we have stability with the national teams and what they need and how they are prepared, Now we have improved in terms of infrastructure, because club football is a private activity. It must be able to generate its own money to sustain itself. But this can only be done when you have the infrastructure, and I'm happy that that's where we're going. And then the issue about the VAR is that CAF asked us that when we bring these things, as a country, you choose. There are certain things we have chosen to keep. There are certain things that that we're not going to keep. For example, the LED boards that we are going to use in Mandela, those will remain. And at least for the first time, we'll have the advertising digital around the pitch, even for league matches, if we are to use the stadium. But the VR, it's not one of the options. And VR these days is not a standalone. It comes together with the whole production team. And when you look at the cost of that production, the capital investment is huge, a lot of money. You're talking about 25 cameras. We have one box lens going for almost 800 million. Now, that's a huge, but when you invest in that, what are you going to use it for? You must have the use for it.
Yeah.
And the league at the moment, which could be a daily use for it, does not yet have the commercial viability to sustain this particular. But we believe that in the future, maybe by AFCON, we'll make sure that probably this remains. And then the issue of changing rules, like you're saying, it's a perennial question whenever I go, but it's just because people don't follow things to the detail. Actually, when I became president of the football session, one of the basic rules that you must have been in administration 7 out of the previous 10 years. And what have changed, actually, is to make it 3 out of the last 4 years. I thought this made it even much easier. If you want to give me credit for actually improving it, because that's the rule I found when I became president, and now I've made it easier. That if you're a club chairman for the last 3 years, you automatically become eligible. But some of the people who actually make the noise about it, who cry to the public, are supposed to cry to the voters, because football has a self-governing system where the people inside actually vote. When these guys come to speak inside football, they are known what they can do. And you can also look at my track record. You know, there's so much that we have achieved under my administration that the people inside football understand it. They know where we are. They know where we're going. And look at it. Football is not like our usual elections, the politics, because currently as we speak, and I want to give you an example, the 6 presidents of the confederations, call them the continents, were all gotten into office unopposed. The FIFA president himself is unopposed. There's the way football structures itself, that we football people, it's not a question of changing and chaos.
Dictatorial.
No, we just believe in our systems. It's our doctrines that, you know, if something is doing, if somebody is doing well,
continue.
There's no reason for you to have a hassle.
Thank you. No, we're going to stop for a break, and after the break, we'll go to NRM. And since you're also NRM, you remain in the discussion. And in the second part, I hope soon to be Honorable Chodu will have a bit more energy as well. Otherwise, NRM is going to throw you out.
The Captal Gang on 91.3 Capital FM.
Imagine waking up to a dream where luxury meets tranquility. Welcome to Solana Lifestyle and Residences, a sanctuary of elegance where every detail is curated for your comfort. From impeccable security to serene garden pathways, Solana offers more than a home. It's a lifestyle. Now, your dream is within reach. Buy your home today, starting from just $142,000 US. Solana Lifestyle and Residences, now ready for occupancy. Book your dream home today. For more information, call our toll-free line 0800-286-773 or visit www.solanalifestyleandresidences.com. Solana Lifestyle and Residences. Live, work, play, shop. Solana is a development of NSSF Uganda.
Are you an agribusiness looking to grow? The United Nations Capital Development Fund, UNCDF, is inviting all registered companies, cooperatives, associations, sole traders, or partnerships in the agribusiness sector across the country that are interested in financing to apply under the Support to Agriculture Revitalization and Transformation START facility. Get easy access to financing, grow and expand by boosting operations in value addition, agro-processing, and sustainable practices. Apply today at start.go.ug. Brought to you you by the United Nations Captal Development Fund, the Uganda Development Bank, the Private Sector Foundation, Kelly Africa, with funding from the European Union.
The Captal Gang on 91.3 Capital FM.
Welcome back from the break. This is the Captal Gang. Honorable Dombo, today is the last time we wish to talk about NRM elections. Hopefully, it will be the last time. Perhaps we'll only talk about it next when we are congratulating Ofono Pondo and Lydia Wanyoto, who are still in the trenches. But first, give us an update on the tribunal process. You know, you are our ambassador.
The NRM Elections Tribunal was set up under the rules that were adopted by the Central Executive Committee. And it was named. And for us as a party, like I've been to other media stations and told them, we try as much as possible to allow it to be independent so that it can do work without interference. Because of that, therefore, I even chose that even when I speak for the NRM, I will not be speaking for the tribunal, so that we give them the independence to decide when to speak and what to tell the public.
But
the recent communication...
Yeah, I don't want you to speak for them. You just tell us the progress so far.
The recent communication which they had, they said that in a few days they will be giving the first set of judgments. The tribunal is proceeding so well. What is interesting is that some members of parliament or some more petitioners have started withdrawing because of the internal mechanisms and discussions that we are doing. I will encourage many to do that because this is a political party. It is not perfect, it's not efficient, but through the talking and discussion, we can improve. It's not perfect because it's made up of Ugandans who you see here, who steal on the streets, who do many mistakes. This party is not coming from heaven. It's made up of the same Ugandans who are committing crimes on the streets, who are beating their friends. So because of that, for us as a party, we are promoting...
Let the NRM and Agatha, let the NRM speak first.
We are promoting the political reconciliation. And even yesterday when we had an NRM caucus, we couldn't delve into the details because many people were banning to raise so many hot issues. But the national chairman guided and said because some of this would be sub judice and prejudicial, he said, let us wait for the decisions of the tribunal. The tribunal is sitting, and we believe come forth the first round of decisions are going to be announced, and we shall find out what has happened. But
do you know how many have appealed? What are the numbers?
The last time I checked was about
380.
380. Yes, that is the number which I last checked. I don't know where Ssemweya gets the 400. Whether it's manufactured.
380 is close. But in terms of percentage, that could be about, in terms of percentage, it may not be so bad. It's about 10% of the positions you had.
And there are so many areas where people contested and they gave very free and fair participation, and they are very happy with the outcome.
Yeah, Chodu is here, he stood unopposed.
Came unopposed. A number of people came unopposed. The Right Honourable Speaker came unopposed. We have Honorable Obua came unopposed, and many others who came unopposed. And so we believe, but people should know that while this is going on, we are also preparing for the National Delegates Conference, and the circular has already been, the notice has been put in the media, the venues have been, this committee has been set up, the people who have been elected through these elections, once you have the flag, it qualifies you to be a member of the National Delegates Conference at LC5, but also at a member of parliament. So once the processes have been finished, we shall progressively be telling you that the National Delegates Conference will be sitting from 22nd
August.
Yes, we start with the smaller conferences of the special interest groups, where we shall be electing the delegates who will be coming into...
This time Nambole is not available for you.
We shall be going to Nambole.
Thank God.
We shall be going to Nambole because Nambole is the name of the conference. but the venue is going to be different.
Yeah.
The venue is going to be different. We shall be at Kololo. We shall be going to Kololo. We have already set up the system. Our events manager. We have got the permission. We have had meetings.
That you never give to other political parties?
Well, I don't know how they apply.
I got to have switched off.
I don't know how they apply. For us, we have applied. And we have applied to the ministry. Well,
it's on your microphone. No,
we have applied the ministry, and the committees have been set up. I want to tell you that we're going to have so many surprises this time. Pleasant surprises.
Okay.
Because it is going to be different. The first time we're getting out of Kololo, I mean Nambole, other than the one which was online. We believe that the venue is big enough. The facilities may be smaller, some of the facilities. For instance, office space. We had bigger office space in Nambole. We have bigger other facilities like showers and others in Nambole than we have in Kololo. But one, thank the Minister of Defense that they have really improved our structure. They have set up the security that we need for us to have a good conference.
Okay.
And we are now in the process of compilation of the list and accreditation. And one, tell the public that the list for accreditation is going to be provided by the Secretary General to the respective areas following the elections that have been concluded. Previously, we have had a few challenges around that area, but we believe this time should be good. And the second, last one, is that accreditation, people have to use their national IDs. There is no business of saying that you use the Dombo's name tag, and then because you come from the same area, in addition to other security requirements, everybody will have to use their national IDs, because the national IDs have been here and people have had time to update them, so that we can beat the system of security, which my brother Magogo has been talking about.
Thank you, Honorable Dombo. We have Helen Kawesa sending a message to Ssemweya. Well done hosting Honorable Magogo. We are all in for Chan. We go. So people should post that on X. So, David Calvin.
You should tell the people of Kira.
Yeah,
before we go.
He has told them, he has told you already, he will. David Calvin Echodu, you are such a peaceful man that it is good you are not competing with other people. Because in NRM, when you are competing, a peaceful man like you would not have gone anywhere.
without Nkoni.
We invited Honorable Sechku here. I don't know where he's held up. I don't know. But you can see the caliber of people he has been fighting with. So, but now you're going to the general election, and I don't know, do you think it will be as peaceful as you are, or you need some super traits?
Thank you. I think NRM is a peaceful party.
Did you see the primaries on television and in the media?
I saw the primaries and I was following them.
Yeah.
In a campaign, so how can you say it is violent? Then they will not vote.
No, but largely, I think if you look at the general primaries, if you see the percentages, you find that largely it was peaceful. To be fair enough. Of course, like any other party, we have bad actors. We cannot deny that in NRM we have bad actors that don't play with the ideals of the party. But in life, NRM has challenges that all parties have. Some parties have even failed to hold primaries. So I can applaud NRM that with all the weaknesses, with all the challenges, they held the primaries. And largely, if you look at percentage, they were largely peaceful. And I'm very happy and proud of that part that was successful. It's sad, the unfortunate for the areas that were violent, and it's bad. But as a party, I think it's a learning process. We need to play by the rules, by the ideals. Our parties are learning even 100 years. You find the Democratic Party in the U.S. still learning, the Republican. The parties have challenges, and they always have to grow. There are organizations that deal with people, and people have different challenges.
Yeah.
So the party is 40 years, but it has people of 20 years, 30 years.
In fact, NRM is not 40 years. The day NRM was formed, the Honorable Martin Wandera complained, why did the party have a veterans league and historical members league? And Museveni said, these things were formed long ago.
But NRM is a success organization, you know.
So
Okay.
it's not even 40 years.
Let's go to Honorable Magogo. In your constituency, how did it go? Did you also need your boxing skills?
Well,
because I do know that on that one you're okay.
no, well, what happened in Vidiope is that sometimes in these elections, it depends on what you've done. What happened in Vidiope was that I seem to have an opponent that believes in violence. And sometimes it's not about, you're saying Mr. Kyodu here is peaceful, but until he gets an opponent that is violent, that eventually he has to get out.
To step up. To step up.
He may get swallowed himself. So I happen to have an opponent who had been a member of parliament before me and had trained a number of young people to get violent. The advantage I have is that we have 6 sub-counties in my constituency, and I have 100% control in 4 sub-counties, and it's only in 1 sub-county where he comes from that there were acts of violence insinuated by, because what he thought he could do was to disorganize the elections and then get DR forms and then fill them in. But even if you do that, the numbers were extremely overwhelming on the other side, because the biggest population actually is on the other side. But the reality of the matter is that elections should be peaceful. Ugandans, I believe, should be given an opportunity. If it's an election, in principle, an election means that people should be given an opportunity to decide. And the leaders should go to the voters and make their case. And that's how myself I understand election. I don't believe in, and this is not personal, not for the party I come from, I don't believe in violence, and I don't believe that democracy is the best way of getting leadership. This is something I've been saying. It is also a dictatorship of some sort that a bigger group of people, wrong or right, eventually take the day. Sometimes they are wrong, but because there are many, automatically that's what democracy is. And in countries like ours, where you're going to decide leadership by adult suffrage, 1 man, 1 vote, and we have totally different understandings of what is going on, it becomes even very challenging. These things of democracy could work in the Western world because people are at the same level, they are talking about the same things. But here, I look at my mother in the village, what she understands and what she believes in, and then me who is hustling in the town, you realize that having a 1 man, 1 vote may not necessarily be, but again, that's what we have decided in the constitution of Uganda, that's how we should determine leadership.
But for you have an unfair advantage. You know, to compete with a man who's coming from football can be very, very difficult.
But by the way,
for Ssemweya is different because when he tells his voters that he supports Arsenal, that way he can lose a few supporters. But when you are the president of FIFA...
I must also take this opportunity to say, I've been involved in politics, right from university politics. At the times of the Mwanga Chivumbis, the Marikes, I was extremely active, and people got shocked that when we finished university, I didn't continue with the politics. I chose the passion of football and my career of engineering. But later, I got attracted in that I looked at my people and eventually said, I need to do something. I looked at what contribution I can make, and I think I'm making a good contribution now.
And you being an MP, has it helped us in the world of football?
Ssemweya has just said it. I brought a private member's bill in Parliament for sports. Nobody was bringing it. And when I got voted, I said, this is one of the things I've gone to do in the House. And it happened. I was able to bring it out. But I've also helped the people of the office, not just only the Sports Act, the number of things we have done down there. And that's why I was again voted 80% in the primaries to be able to come back to carry the flag.
Agatha, this is a good time now to congratulate the 3 gentlemen of NRM on having gone through the primaries. He's a spokesman of the party and government. He's a big man.
I thought he had come back from retirement.
No.
So because you know how many people we've seen come back from retirement?
He's not on the
if there was ever retirement.
He's at the secretariat. He might be the one giving out money.
Congratulations.
We have a pleasure.
I congratulate them. I think winning an election of NRM, even your worst enemy should congratulate you. It is really, really not easy, considering how many people died in the elections? About 3?
Yeah.
More than 3.
And of course, those are the ones that have been reported. And the injured ones, they must be scores. Those in jail came up to 100. So for NRM, which is something that Honorable Dombo should have addressed us on, the elections are a do or die matter. And it doesn't matter. Even LC1, you find, and I don't know if that speaks to the inefficiencies he talked about. I am glad that he was very honest about that. And I think the inefficiencies come from it being a one-man's show, who is the one who says what should happen and whatever. So I congratulate those that went through. I think you said even the gangsters here won, right?
Lydia did. Fonopono is still in the trenches, and Lydia is campaigning for SEC.
Yeah, so I think that many times we wonder, for us, the concern is that if this party which is in charge, which has been in charge for 40 years, fails to organize its internal elections without many major problems, because I can understand minor issues that they can be there, but election in, election out, there's violence, there's rigging, there is voter bribery, which is in the open, and it's criminal. We have laws against it, but we have people on video giving people money. I have those videos of everyone who has stood behind a candidate is given money, and that has.
Yeah.
And what? That's the other thing. That
and electoral officers that are hiding their forms.
Exactly. So for money, it would have been okay, but to have leaders sort of encouraging these vices, these addictions, and they have what is written on some of it, very dangerous alcohol, and that's okay. And they call people and say, go to the pitch and we give you warrant. And no one thinks that a leader like that should be questioned for that, should be held responsible for that.
You know, Agatha, the last week we had on the show environmentalists and talking about clean air. And so when Ssemweya first came on the show, you could see, he said, we are going to talk about clean air. So the election seems not to have any policy to talk about. And by the end of the show, he was very interested, and he had been reading the statistics of clean air. But it doesn't seem to have any policy at all.
So I don't know if this tribunal is also...
And so far here, Magoge is one who has said, helping people with your paper. But Chodu, and by the way, Chodu, you are going to have a problem, because even your people are attacking you on Twitter.
You see, that's also, what Honorable Magogo is saying is also problematic. Helping people with your pay in terms of putting their sports facilities or whatever is not your job as an MP. And you can only do it if you are Honorable Magogo, who is married to the Speaker, who is participating by virtue of marriage in appropriation.
No, but
how many
Ssemweya
MPs?
has failed. Ssemweya has failed to fix our road.
As a member of parliament, Oscar,
Can I finish my thought?
Just in a minute.
Yeah.
As a member of parliament, you have a duty to your people and to represent them.
Yeah.
And they have done.
You have failed.
Raise their issues, and we have raised.
Representing
Yes.
is okay, but you
And that's how I've helped them.
talked about working, and you even mentioned some of the things you have done there. Let me ask, how many MPs can have access to those resources to go back home and do things there? All of these things are political. I have
You've
told...
not heard of MPs that withdraw their ambulances?
After elections.
If they don't win an election, they come and collect their...
Anita did, and this is what I'm telling you. She is a minister. She was a state minister for investment. She has access to money that other MPs do not have. We should stop making the electorate feel like Honorable Ssemweya should work on that Chira road that has been a nightmare for people, and they will judge him according to that road.
I saw Ssemweya on the floor of Parliament accusing another one of flying by chopper.
So all these problems, if you are in power for 40 years and you do not resolve these issues. But also you have a chairman of that party who goes and says, if you vote opposition, you won't get services. And you guys are okay with that. I asked a question on Twitter the other day because President Museveni had said something like that in Raga Omakinde. No wonder I never hear about your problems. And all of you say it, I mean, without shame. So I was asking, Toro region votes you guys 100%. That road of that place, I don't know how many people it has killed. Someone should follow up and see. I don't know how many people it has left sick with backs. The other day, the Minister of State for Children killed someone on that road, by the way. Yeah. So those who vote, you have 100%, they tell you the problems of that road. How come you're not fixing it? So for me, I think that
many times we have Raymond Mujuni here and
complaining about that road.
The road.
Yeah.
Last week he had to travel back.
I feel their pain.
And then he says they vote nearly 100% NRM.
I feel their pain. I travel on it also, but not as often as people who come from there. And I keep wondering, for them, what are they paying for? They are not opposition. So this mentality, people like Honorable Dombo now, who were legislator for 2 decades and are now in a position at the Secretariat, should teach these things. Let people have some shame. Let people not ignorantly go and say, I have done this for my people, I have brought a road. That's not your job as an MP. You have a budget committee that is led by people that are close to some powers, that can afford to take a health center to their places. And I mention them here every day. You see reallocations year in, year out, every financial year, and these reallocations are benefiting a small group of people.
At the beginning of this parliament, I saw the Honorable Joel Senyonyi going to donate branded posho to the people.
That's all things.
And yeah, that's what I'm telling you, that that's not what members of parliament, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm just giving an example. That what exactly he's saying is what members of parliament do.
Conclude and we go to
Yes, so really my conclusion is that that tribunal should hold accountable people that were giving waraji, people that were giving out, in other countries.
A tribunal, you're a lawyer, a tribunal works only for people who have appealed. So now we need to bring different cases for waraji and payment.
But of course, that's voter bribery. The tribunal is resolving issues, including of voter bribery.
If someone has complained
of
about
elections, those complaints, 380 complaints. I can assure you, there are so many on voter bribery.
Okay.
Because they are there, because it was the biggest.
So one sentence conclusion? One
sentence conclusion is that the inefficiencies Honorable Dombo speaks about are not just inefficiencies, they are even crimes which should be punished. And in other countries, people that are found guilty of voter bribery do not even participate in elections again. But here, you are thrown out because of voter bribery, and you participate in a by-election. So what is going to be the incentive for people not to bribe voters to participate in those crimes? Lastly, the incoming honorable talked about some parties don't hold primaries. I think that's an internal issue. If your constitution says you should select, you should choose your flag bearers by election or by selection or whatever mode, I think that's an internal issue. If you have chosen to hold primaries, primaries in itself shouldn't be your goal. They should be primaries that are
party is only a few months old. So, Honorable Ssemweya, Agatha is back.
You see, the parties, I think the Conservative Party in the UK, total membership is 200,000 something.
Well, that's the actual membership.
Yes.
Yes.
But here, everybody is conscripted. In some areas,
and that's bad.
That you conscript everybody, and then you go and say 18 million members. Where does that? Maybe in China. But for me, Oscar, I tried to raise this matter in Parliament this week. The Speaker was uncomfortable. Because I said, if the NRM people, first of all, we pass money to go to political parties. There are no internal matters in political parties. Political parties are public institutions under the Political Parties and Organizations Act. So the country must be concerned in what happens in PFF, what happens in NRM, because we fund them partly. So my proposal to Parliament was to set up a committee to investigate the criminality in NRM primaries. People who have electoral grievances can go to the tribunal because that's where they will be sorted. But the deployment of military, because we pass a budget of every year nearly 5 trillion to go and fund our army as a country. This army now became part of the NRM primary. I saw policemen lining up in NRM lines in Kamuri, policemen in uniform. Yet, by constitution and by the Police Act, they're supposed to be non-partisan. The violence, the beating, and I outlined these issues, but as I said, the speaker was uncomfortable. She found a decent way of saying these things are being handled. The only matter she said
the criminal ones can be
yes,
and the other election go to the tribunal.
Yes, because the NRM has an extra responsibility as a party in power. They are the ones who are organizing, by extension, the national elections. What they did in their own elections was frightening. Ministers lining up people and they are giving them money, police shooting. Each NRM candidate, they have easy access to security. If one is in trouble, then he calls the army, another one will call. And they have added something.
There's a general who said someone had 40 drones. Then yes. I heard Honorable Sechkuba talking about drone number plates.
I saw Kayanja crying. I said, thank God. I saw
Nunguse.
Yes.
I saw Nunguse fighting with the army.
Being roughed up.
And then you said, thank God again?
Yes, because you see, Nunguse was in police when they are firing tear gas at us, holding rallies. So these things needed...
Let's pause there for a second. We stop for a break, and then I'll let you continue.
Captal Gang on 91.3 Capital FM.
No more long lines, no more stress. Bank umepesa with FCU Bank. Dial star 240# to do everything banking like self-registration for USSD, star 240# so that you can do your banking using your phone and manage your accounts, make bank transfers, pay school fees, get a loan, buy airtime or data, buy agent float, set up standing orders and more. No airtime or data needed. Do your banking anytime and from anywhere with FCU, going further together. FCU Bank is regulated by Bank of Uganda and customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda up to Uganda shillings 10 million. Terms and conditions apply.
I have walked to the district 6 times. Hey, Uncle Dan, what is wrong? Are you okay? I am tired. This building permit, moving up and down, bring this document, bring that. But Uncle Dan, why don't you use BIMS? BIMS? What is that? The Building Industry Management System. Just upload your documents online, submit, generate PRA, and simply pay through mobile money or the bank. Get an e-building permit, and that is it. That's it? Everything online. So no more. Are you a developer? Get your e-building permit today through BIMS, the Building Industry Management System. Simply log on to bims.go.ug, upload your documents, and track your application step by step. Safe building, better living.
Captal Gang on 91.3 Capital FM.
Welcome back from the break. We are getting to the end of the Captal Gang. Honorable Ssemweya.
Yes, so the violence, the militarization of elections, police, money, falsification of results, all that happened in NRM primaries has a bearing on the national elections. Because even this week in Parliament, we are discussing biometric identification, and you're not addressing electoral commission, you're addressing NRM, and Mo said the law is still before cabinet. So they are the ones who run both the NRM primary and the national elections. But because they are guilty, they don't want any investigation to take place. Because the country must be told, what was the army doing in NRM elections? You saw Kayanja. He said these people, they have money. Do they want us also to go and steal their money? And which people was he referring to? He said drones, he was calling them drones 50. Sechikubo said there were 40 in his area. They have been picking other people. And finally, Oscar, for me, the direction that the NRM has taken should worry every person. That on top of police and military, they have now added Chiwoko, Mkoni squad, they have added the ghetto, who are robbing. In fact, now I am worried, because Dombo has said their conference is in Kololo. People who have... the
last time it happened.
People who work around Kampala now, maybe you need to come to Chira. Because the last time they were in Kampala, they were robbing phones, watches, bags. And now, even when Museveni came to my constituency, he went to Kasokoso and he was complaining, I thought you had brought me to ghetto. So his focus and mind is there.
He wants to rehabilitate them, perhaps.
No, I mean by policy. By policy, you don't drive there 1 hour and you have rehabilitated the community. Yeah, that's a joke. But for you, Dombo, I know you. I covered you as a journalist in Parliament. That you can rationalize these crimes. That you can recruit criminals in Kampala to be part of NRM. They go and rob people of their mechanized on the streets. Why don't you take your conference like to Chankwan's? Because there I don't think there is anything to steal. Because now we are fearing when NRM meetings taking place in your area, you don't know whether your food will be safe. Okay. So that's who you are now.
Honorable
party of criminals.
Apart from that last sentence.
Serving ministers, serving warrant.
But apart from those last statements, Ssemweya has a point. You, in the ruling party, in government, how can you work on improving national discipline if it is not in the party as seen in the primaries?
Oscar, perhaps Honorable Ssemweya only studied about journalism, but he did not study about behavior of human beings. If he went to the Bible or the Quran, and he saw how the children of Israel were moving from... God gave them 10 commandments. NRM was not there. And they started disobeying. When the risk of losing elections in America became real, you saw what President Trump did. He incited violence. And so I'm just telling you that human nature, I wanted to give you this as a precursor so that you know that these things are not only limited to NRM and they're not limited to Uganda, but there is a way they must be dealt with. Yesterday, during the NRM caucus, the president had to take on the members of parliament and say, you people must begin by confessing your sins, because when we started the NRM, this didn't happen. People lined up. The purpose, you introduce people to line up because it's during the everybody sees and you count. It should be the most peaceful elections, like it was during the expansion of NRC. That's what happened. So he's asking, where did this problem come from?
How did elections start going into the night?
Violence, people are amending the declaration forms. So this is criminal conduct that must be dealt by the law. Because like God gave the 10 commandments, members of parliament, if the law is weak, go and strengthen it. If we must expand that in the future, we could use the Political Parties Act in order to delve into the matters of other political parties, go and look at the law, because you are the members of parliament. But I want to tell you that for us, right now, over 300 officials of NRM and other members of the public, members of the party, are behind bars. The president has taken a very stern action for them to know that this is not conduct that is acceptable under the national resistance movement, and the crimes are going to be punished. But what brings this? One of the things which I have repeatedly told people is that the NRM chose an election where we may not be having enough, at times, poor preparedness, because we are conducting an election in 72,000 villages. 72,000 villages. And members of parliament, members of NRM now are proposing that why don't we follow the polling stations of like under the general elections. But this is something that the party leadership will consider and will come up with a decision with. But elections under NRM is massive. Because it is massive, the logistical requirement and human requirement, but also resource, is enormous. At times you get some resources, but what will, even if we asked police to deploy constables at every polling center in 72,000, and they wanted to deploy 2, do we have enough policemen? Unless in the country, that's the only activity that is going to be conducted. We are looking at all this. We are convinced that adult suffrage is the best way to empower people to make a decision. Secondly, lining up is the best because it's very transparent, it's done during the day. Thirdly, how do we prevent the criminals who want to use or abuse the system in order for them to benefit? This business of people promising what they are not supposed to do is a huge problem in Africa. At Friday, I would pray that you become a member of parliament and I see how you do it. Because, no, I'll just pray. I'm just praying so that I can see how you do it. Because it will be maybe a learning lesson. I was a member of parliament. But the expectation of the voters may be different or beyond what is prescribed in the national constitution. But also, secondly, at times problems begin with the incumbents before they become members of parliament. In order to undermine an incumbent who is there, Honorable Magogo, you want to undermine him, somebody will come and make a promise and say, if I was here, I would have been paying fees for you. If I was Magogo, I would have
you had his opponent
here.
Was violent.
If I did this, and now,
final statement, Honorable Dombo.
And now when that happens, and somebody is voted and goes to parliament, then he discovers that actually what is there is not what he promised, then he may begin developing options, either to resort to violence or to resort to voter buying. But what surprised me is when I saw a picture of a minister personally giving money. I used some money when I was member of parliament to give people transport refund. But by the time you say minister doing it himself and that he cannot get people to trust to do it on his behalf, then you know that there could be a problem.
Money to Soga himself. I told him when he was here, even when he was giving NRM MPs money, it was by his bodyguard, the lady. He didn't trust his minister. So here Museveni has told people,
I wasn't there, so
I am giving you information.
No, that's wrong information.
You can't say you are not there and the information is wrong.
You have been giving wrong information.
So you didn't see him in Musoke carrying money in a sack.
I want us to go to regional.
Wrong information.
That's not you think Honorable Dombo doesn't know? You think he doesn't know? But Agatha,
but why accuse someone of giving wrong information?
Your Tanzania. Next week we'll discuss the deals that Kenya and Uganda have made. But Tanzania has gone nationalist, saying you cannot do small businesses in Tanzania. Is that a good thing? Should Uganda copy?
It's not a good thing when you have an East African community integration that started in 1999. When did we restore it after its collapse? Either 1999 or 1997. And in that community, the stages are free movement of people, free movement of goods. So it was meant to facilitate trade. Common currency and the federation. Of course, common currency, I haven't gone there. I thought we would start with the first 2 stages, common market and whatever. Now, when you look at what's happening, the reports show that the East African community trade is lagging behind, like 3 times. It could be like 60% more than it is right now. And most of the problems are issues like that. Unfortunately, it's not the first time Tanzania is doing something against the East African community spirit.
Especially Kenyans, especially against Kenyans.
It does that against everyone. For example, non-Tanzanians working in Tanzania is a tug of war. But here, because what you are trying to say is that free movement of people and goods, so people should get a job and work in any of the initially 3 countries, now 6.
Just visiting.
Even Of course, I was visiting there, so I know even just visiting is a problem. You remember that in 2012, I think, when Jakaya was the president, because the problems in Tanzania, they change presidents, but the problems must be systemic. So you'd be thinking, that time I think there was the thought that there was a problem between President Jakaya Kikwete and Kagame in Rwanda. They chased Rwanda, there was violence. Now, the three countries, Rwanda, Kenya, and Uganda, had a coalition of the willing, because Tanzania had literally failed every effort of the coalition of the willing. Was talking about many things that still didn't materialize even without Tanzania. It also collapsed mainly because the fights that the rift that started between Kagame and Museveni here in around 2018. So it sets it's a bad precedent. Don't pretend to want to be in the East African community when you're not interested. And what I think makes it disappointing that it is Tanzania is because Julius Nyerere, the father of Tanzania, was the biggest proponent of the East African community, of an East African state. And I see that Ruto and President Museveni in their meeting, they were going around corners, but you could tell they are talking about Tanzania, because when you're saying if you are president and you cannot allow trade or minister, what are you ministering? But you are president, so you are talking about yourself, president of 40 years. When you look at it, the reason it comes back to President Museveni, he's the one that has been the common factor over the years. So you would have thought that would give him the upper hand to rein in on others. Okay. But we have the lowest hand, especially in terms of benefiting from the little East African community that is there. In terms of exports, we export very little to all the three countries and import a lot. You have even Kenya. It is not just a Tanzania problem. You have even Kenya banning our biggest exports. Milk was our biggest export to Kenya. There is a problem with that. There's a problem with sugar and cereals and maize to Kenya. So you cannot be a country and you are the one who is at the disadvantage of the three all the time. You are the one who has had consolidated power for long. I thought you would use that as leverage, but it's not the case.
Honorable Magugo, and you have survived. Agatha has not even said, and we don't even have an opening ceremony. So that went to Tanzania as well. So is it a good thing to be nationalistic? Should Uganda copy?
I think the biggest thing here is to look at the advantages of integration. We have seen it in Europe that there is a certain group of 27 countries that have decided to open up themselves to people moving. You know, when you enter one, you get into the others. But I don't understand how the Europeans managed to bring the borders amongst us, because we have Ugandans and Kenyans, some common names and even some relatives in some places. And then we buy into these borders, which actually do not solve some of our challenges. If we have a community that big, definitely we don't have the time to go through the advantages. They're very obvious. So for me, this generation is failing to achieve this, but I believe that it's a matter of time, because whether you want it or not, the young people, if you look at them, the things they are looking at are totally different things. We're still stuck into the generations of looking at things. But in principle, there's no reason for me even to show my passport when I'm going to Kenya. There shouldn't, for heaven's sake. There's no reason for me, there should be no reason for me to operate a different currency when I'm going in Kenya. We have the same problems, we have the same challenges. So the vision of the people who believe truly in East African integration, I think is something we should applaud. But then it has to depend on the constituents. It has to depend on Tanzania, what they think. I think sometimes you look at and think, this country, I think they have gone ahead of others. So I have some small advantage I want to hold on against my neighbor. But when you look at the bigger picture, and if you're integrating these 7 countries from the Indian Ocean to the Atlantic on the other, the Pacific on the other side, for me, that would be very good for every producer. That would be very good for every buyer. But we are stuck into looking at ourselves. These things were imported onto us.
Sometimes even it got tribal. And you see even inside the country, and then you see somebody shrinking again, start to think, what about me? What about my tribe? I mean, for me, if you asked me, if this generation is not achieving it, I see the Gen Zs and this generation coming. I mean, the technology has made them borderless. Right now, borders do not make anything with the digital integration. So we need to move on from where we are stuck.
Honorable Ssemweya, should Uganda copy David here in Kampala sends me a message. Tanzania's recent pronouncement is directed towards Chinese.
You see, the desire is there, but
the desire for
the integration, for us to be one country, but the fear. The first time I went to Tanzania, we went as a group of MPs. We met the ruling party, we met the opposition. But they were collectively fearful of the integration, and their biggest problem was Kenya. See, these Kenyans who speak their English very fast will come here and take all our jobs. Both the opposition and the government. And I have seen that, I have said this many times. One time we were in Nairobi for a conference of journalists. We failed to elect an executive committee because Tanzanians said Kenyans were undermining them. So the meeting just ended like that. But that first time I went to Tanzania, they stamped in my passport, you are not allowed to work in Tanzania. They no longer put that stamp. But that time it was written in the stamp, immigration as you're entering. I visited.
Did we used to have the same as well?
No, now they never put
in the
things
past.
like those.
We never had.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we are liberal. Uganda is closer to Kenya. But Sajjawala I visited his university of science and something medical. Under Magufuli, he wanted to shut it. He had to appeal to Jakaya Kikwete to go and plead. Because Tanzania is also... so the policies keep changing depending on who is in power. Because Magufuli was more nationalistic, even caused problems between Tanzanians themselves. At one time, problems of sugar between Zanzibar and Tanzania. So he was a nationalist like the Trumps. So I think we will never achieve that federation. It will never happen. Maybe we'll need to plead and see what we can do together, because people there are also sentimental.
But do you think it was a matter of federation when you say you shall not do small business in Tanzania?
What I'm saying is it also depends, because Tanzanians are, they don't want anyone to take advantage of them. They are a very closed society. They pretend they are open, they are not. The Kenyans usually have a problem with Uganda because of indiscipline, political indiscipline. You now have some peace because Raila Odinga is working with the route. But otherwise, all the previous protests, they have targeted the road, bringing stuff in Uganda because they think Museveni interferes in their own affairs. That's how they went to Tochi, the Uganda house. We had just spent more than 5 billion. We are now raising money again to go and reconstruct it. It had just been renewed. It was burnt down because of our indiscipline. We go to Kenya and kidnap SJ, kidnap other people. So they look at us as...
I was about to ask you, their indiscipline or our indiscipline?
Our indiscipline. Kenya has never kidnapped anyone from Kampala. But we are like Rwanda when it comes to kidnapping people and harming them outside, beyond our borders. So the Kenyans look at Uganda, they don't like our political indiscipline, they don't like a rife presidency, they don't like a president appointing his son CDF and is hovering all over. They have written about that. So there are many things that we don't have in common, but we pretend we are closer. So I can understand when these statements begin coming.
I don't know. David,
what don't you
Calvin, Echodo, your conclusions are the ones I don't know. Tanzania, would Uganda benefit from going that way? No foreigner should do small business in Uganda?
I think it's a bad step back for East African integration. I disagree with the Honorable that it might not happen. I think I'm optimistic that the young generation is, I think, is rising above that. But it's a bad step towards the integration. But it is more than, I would say, it's not a European import. It's more our own African feudal tribal sentiments that we have failed to outgrow. And we hope that the young people are going to outgrow them. And once they do, integration will happen, because it's inevitable. I think it is something good for Africa to integrate, and especially economically and in other ways. But it's a bad step backwards.
Yeah. Backwards. Honorable Dombo, final 2 minutes on this one. Imagine yourself as the
overloading NRM leaders and hiding them in Kenya during their primary.
Of course, but Honorable Dombo, you as a spokesman, imagine yourself giving a statement that no one shall do small business in Uganda.
During elections, anybody can make any allegations. I don't know whether the Tanzanians have had enough time to have an interaction with President Museveni, because on these matters of integration, he's very superb on the way on his outlook and the way he perceives, and on the decisions that countries take. It depends on the outlook of the leaders and who their advisors are. In eastern Uganda, there is a year when we had famine, and the Kenyans were coming in droves to buy all the cereals. And we sought a meeting as members of parliament with the president and said, why don't we close the border so that we can save these cereals for our people? And the president said we should actually open the borders wider, because this is going to trickle bigger production. And when I went back home to ask the farmers were in support of what President Museveni was saying, that when the Kenyans come to buy, they buy at better prices than the Ugandans would want to hoard in order to. So that is something that President Museveni has kept telling. Even the rice recently. Butaleja is one of the places which produces a lot of rice. And when they were importing rice from Tanzania, we complained and requested the president to say, can't we stop the rice from Tanzania from coming so that we can protect our market? The president said, why should Ugandans enjoy higher prices of rice if we can get cheaper rice from from Tanzania? He said, if Ugandans cannot effectively compete in rice production with the Tanzanians, let us get something else that we can do, and this would enhance integration.
It is. Rice is problematic still, though. But anyway.
So because of this, it is something that I strongly believe that through diplomatic channels, the governments should be able to interact, the leaders should be able to interact, and hopefully they'll make the leaders on the other side to understand that we are bigger and better when we move together as a region than when we do single things as individual countries.
Thank you, Honorable Dombo. Agatha, at the end of a show, it is at the end of a show, when we're very sympathetic about what happened to you and everything. There's some mean Ugandans.
I was complaining that my friend Ssemweya didn't even give me a call to say, how are you doing? So I thought these people, are they still my friends? Were they my friends?
we talked about you. But we complained, yes. Some mean people are saying, why is Agatha going to agitate in Tanzania when there's enough work in Uganda?
I don't think that's being mean, it's being stupid. Yeah, they're just, I'm telling you that, no, because there's a difference between being mean and being plain not thinking.
Yeah.
Because we all...
Chairperson is the NRM tribunal.
We all go to these countries. I want anyone to mention to me that they have never gone to any of these countries for anything, for work, for if you are a journalist, if you are a business person. So if you get there and they ask you, why are you here, and they pounce on you and they make you disappear and kidnap you, should we say, what were you doing there? Because there's no crime I committed in Tanzania, none. And it goes back to what we were saying here about Tanzania and how it treats other East Africans. The questions as being asked when I was being interrogated, because they first took us as if it's a normal questioning, as law-abiding East Africans, we went. And the question was, what are you doing in Tanzania? What do you mean? You're holding my passport. It's an East African passport. Is it now a crime to come to Tanzania? If it is a crime, did you forget to announce it or to tell your immigration officers that stamped my passport because I entered legally? So it starts from there. Then it goes to the fact that I think people, because they thought I went to attend a court case. So I am a journalist. That's part of your work as a journalist. I know Tundu Lissu. There's nothing that should stop me from saying I want to go and attend a court case of someone known to me or someone I want to report about. And
the way someone would go to court to see this.
The Martha Karuas are here all the time that Besigye is in court. Has anyone beaten them up, or have we looked at it as intrusion or interference? Because I heard Honorable Dombo, when we were talking about it during the break, saying that the Tanzanians will see that as intrusion. The question I asked the officials that were asking me is, the court was full. How come we are the ones you've picked out to bring here? And it was full of white people who are obviously not Tanzanians. So it wasn't put anywhere that we don't want non-Tanzanians here. But it's a bygone. If it wasn't for my feet that are still swelling, I would have forgotten.
Yes, yeah, go on.
Comparing with Uganda. No, as
no, don't compare with you.
As saying that for me, as they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. If it wasn't that I still have problems with my feet swelling, I would have even forgotten about it. I will not forget about it as far as pushing that the criminals that did that to us are held accountable. And we have started the process. We filed a lawsuit at the East African Community Court of East African Court of Justice. We want to take it to the African Court for Peoples of Human Rights and other international bodies.
So, Honorable Magogo, last word on gang. Chan.
It's always a pleasure to be here, interacting with the gangsters on sports and, of course, national and international issues. I just want to inform Ugandans that it's a very rare opportunity to be hosting these competitions. You can imagine a country like Morocco has hosted the Africa Cup of Nations only once. South Africa, only once.
And now we are
Algeria, only once. So it means that maybe it may not happen again in our lifetime. So let's take advantage.
Yeah, my producer Patricia has given me a whisper saying we are running out of time, but tickets.
The tickets
where can they buy them? Because I've seen complaints online on the portal. Yes,
and this is what CAF has decided to do. We've been engaging them to get some physical ones, but at the moment it's still at Chan, where it is CHAN.ticket.ug. Yeah. If you go there, you're able to serve yourself and get your.
But you give them a nudge because people are complaining that it's not as quick and they've been denied some tickets.
No, I don't think that is the issue. Some tickets are running out. I've just been checking right now. Some tickets are running out for some sections. So let us try to, for those who want to get tickets, get them before they got completely finished.
Thank you so much, Star Cafe, for powering the Captal Gang. Thank you, our listeners. Continue following us on our media platforms. Thank you, Honorable Ssemweya, Honorable Dombo, soon to be Honorable Echodu, Honorable Magogo, and Agatha Traire. Thank you. I am Oscar Ssemweya Musoke, and I shall see you next week.
Yes, you got it right. We're bringing the party to your Who is the Dance Force, pumping the bass line and mixing the hits on the ones and twos by your house DJ Will.
We party all weekend long.
Yeah, can't get better than this. It's the Dance Force with DJ Wheel. Captal FM, fresh hits for Uganda. DJ Wheel on the Wheels of Steel. Every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. on Captal FM. Fresh hits and throwbacks.
Black
Black Legacy and Juba Express presents the return of the Queen, Sheba Karunji. Friday, 22nd August 2025, Kampala Serena Hotel. Entrance is going to be $200K, early bird $150K, tables $3 million. Now Sunday, 24th August 2025, Aluwero Muchisawe, entrance is $10,000. Now buy your early bird discounted ticket on Momo app or dial *165 *0#. Physical tickets are being sold at Serena Hotel, Jude Color Solutions, and Papa Spot Makinde. Powered by
Captal FM. Fresh hits and throwbacks. Only on Captal FM.
Come here now. Give me a tap.
It's the rough cuts.
Right, Dean, it's on.
Captal FM. Fresh hits and throwbacks.
As it is written, so it must be said, you know? The ancient scrolls have been written, they have been stolen and locked away. Today it is known as the teachings of His Majesty, and by His divine authority He has blessed His prosperity.
We want to use to get some more.
More of His Majesty teaching.
We want to use to get some more.
More of King Selassie teaching.
We want to use to get some more.
More of Rastafari teaching.
We want to use to get some more.
More of the Emperor teaching.
All too long the children been suffering.
This suffering caused no spiritual conviction, and we need the strength to find this revolution.
They don't want them to learn from the ghetto of the faith.
Cause the power of this truth they do feel. In the light found within it is clear.
These are reasons why we vow to defend their rights today.
How many man try to dispute the truth? Rasta man never kick them with the Gideon boot, yeah.
We want to use to get some more.
More of His Majesty teaching.
We want to use to get some more.
More of King Selassie teaching.
Brother Luke's want to use to get some more.
More of Rastafari teaching.
Sister Mommy want to use to get some more.
Only
Rasta can liberate the people. All my hills and valleys too. Don't let them fool you. Don't believe for a minute that they are with you. Just need the people. All my hills and valleys too. Don't let them fool you. Don't believe for a minute that they're not like you. Why try to make iron happy? Really, I don't know. If it was up to them, my friend, would never see the sun or the snow. Through that mystical communication within, we keep on coming together. I love to see brothers and sisters looking out for one another. That the way should be, not contrary. Stop staring down each other. Only Rasta can free the people. All my hills and valleys too. Don't let them fool you. Don't believe 1 minute that they are with you. Just free the people. All my hills and valleys too. Don't let them fool you. Don't believe 1 minute that they are with you.
You got to be glorious. Don't have a be notorious. Yes, you know your life fun is going up and down. Yet one day you'll be falling off. You are very, very far from love. And if you don't be careful, you'll know and you'll see that the light will go dim in you. Trample love, yeah. Trample love, the feeling. And your life will be wasting away if you don't stop. Soon it will be over. Dust yourself from all the dust. Take your eyes from out of the ashtray. Can't you see your life getting so tame? Don't put your gun on the front page. Babylon, we got you and put you in a cage. Don't ever be no gun side. it's flame. You're still running down. Click, click. Here goes your piggy bank. Money is not thought, my brother. Some is wise and some is very foolish. Don't come with your Tech 9. Don't come with your Mach 11. Crazy and wild. You running in the streets all the time. Don't put your tongue on the front page. Babylon will catch you and put you in a cage.
Well, the years have come and the years have come. Still the son of man keeps on driving on. Journey on. Yet from innocence to experience, from dependence to independence. Journey on. Well, now I have loved and I have been loved.
set you running. With the big belly, belly, see the woman with the big belly, belly, see the woman with the big belly, belly, see the woman with the big belly. She fight against abortion, Lord no, she no deal with no family plan. Tonight we feel natural. Come along, satisfy your occasion. Lord, no. Belly, see the woman with the big belly. 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 She don't even care. Oh no. She don't want to be like no Jack and Jill. All she wants in the night we tread last one. Come along, satisfy her occasion. Belly, see the woman with the big belly. Belly, see the woman with the big belly.
See the devil broke loose again. See corrupting the youth man, even the daughters them. Why, see the devil broke loose again. See and spreading the symptoms even to the little children. Satan is a man who's a cunning little fox. When I catch that fox, I'm gonna lock him in the box. Lock him in the box, then I'll throw away the key in the uttermost part of the Caribbean Sea. Cause the devil broke loose again. Corrupting the youth and even the daughters them. The devil broke loose again. Spreading the symptoms even to the little children. You can see it, can't you feel it in the vibes of the time? Knife and cutlass, violent gun crime. The nation is revealing, can't you see the sign? Domestic violence is like a pastime. See, the boy broke loose again. Corrupting the youth man, even the daughters them. See, the devil broke loose again. Spreading the symptoms even to the little children. And right now, I'm knocking on the heaven's door, boy. Knocking on the heaven's door. It's getting dark. Knock, knock, knocking on a heaven's door.
Somebody come get me before I kill this man. Somebody come get me, 'cause I don't understand. He don't wanna love me. Said he got a woman down the street. He don't really love me. 'Cause if he did, he wouldn't do it. Somebody come get me before I kill this man. Somebody come get me, come get this knife off me head. He don't wanna love me. Ain't got a woman I'm dying to meet. Don't really love me. Lord of mercy, don't make me do it. Lord of mercy, he'll be begging please. Lord of mercy, begging on his knees. Pack up everything in here and throw up until he leaves. Pack up everything for you and take back my keys. Whoa. He said a bitch named Sandra. Oh, and that's what caused all this drama. Well, give me back my keys and leave. I don't need you no more. Was supposed to love me, now leave. Didn't I give you my all? Somebody come get me before I kill this man. Somebody come get me, come get this knife off me head. He don't wanna love me. Say he got a woman down the street. He don't really love me. 'Cause if he did, he wouldn't do it. Hey, Lord of mercy, what will I do? Lord of mercy, is he killing you? Lord of mercy, just wait and see. Lord of mercy, if you don't give me back my keys and leave, 'cause I don't need you no more. Give me back my keys, don't look at me. Go back to your home. Somebody come get me before I kill this man. Somebody come get me, come get this knife off me head. He don't wanna love me. Say he got a woman down the street. He don't really love me. 'Cause if he did, he wouldn't do it. I was born strong. I was born strong. I was made for this.